Good morning, sir.
Yeah, please.
Ma'am.
Please, please.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Dheeraj, can you tell more about your place, Nalgonda?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm from Nalgonda district and Nalgonda town, sir. I was born there and I had studied up to 10th standard there, sir.
Have you heard of Ravi Narayan Reddy?
Sir, I have a vague recollection. I'm not able to recollect exactly.
Okay, now you are in very active in anti-ragging squads and suicide prevention squad committees and all. Now, when was the first anti-ragging legislation brought out in India?
Sir, there was a committee that was brought out, a Raghavan committee, sir. And Supreme Court had directed
When was
it
the
in
Raghavan
2009.
committee and when was the legislation brought out in on anti-ragging?
Sir, I believe it was in 2009.
The first legislation was 2009.
Sir, the UGC guidelines came out in 2009, sir.
No, it was in 97. Okay, why do you think there's a increase of suicidal tendencies amongst the students, especially by due to stress and things like that? What are the factors, causative factors for increased suicidal tendencies among the students? Can you elaborate more on that? Since you are active on the suicide prevention committee, so please elaborate.
Sir, the first factor I would stress upon is academic stress, sir. Due to the complexity in the labor markets, in the demands, students are undergoing stress and competition, sir. The second factor I would say is substance abuse, sir. In the graduation stage, students are exposed to drugs and alcohol, which create these tendencies of suicide, sir. So the third factor is these affairs, love affairs, failure of which lead to suicide, sir, especially among women.
Drugs is a serious problem in the colleges.
Sir, in certain colleges, yes, sir. I would say it is a
Which drug is being more used in the colleges?
Sir, there are a range of items, sir, opioids that are made available. Sir, they say crystal, meth, and this marijuana, sir, which are popularly used among students.
You're a student of political science. Okay. Your optional also is it political science?
No, sir, it's anthropology. It's anthropology.
Anthropology. Now tell me, the governors sitting on legislations, bills, or governors sitting on the requests made by the state governments. Okay. So how do you see this? Do you see this as a politicization of the post of the governor, or what is your view on this?
Sir, there is a mixed opinion, sir. In certain cases, the governors are exercising their own discretion, sir. They are trying to see to it that these bills are thoroughly made and they're put to proper scrutiny, sir. But it has been misused, sir, as you have said, and there are multiple reasons, sir. One being politicization of the office of governor, as you have pointed out, wherein people in politics, active politics, have been appointed to the post of governor. And, sir, specifically, there are federal issues, sir. When the state government is not obviously belonging to the same party as the central government, it is seen that the governors are acting in a manner which they are not emphasized, which they are not envisaged to act upon, sir.
Okay. Have you heard of Sarkaria committee?
Yes.
Can you elaborate more on that?
Sir, that committee was appointed to improve and work. I'm Sarkaria Commission, ma'am. Sir, it was appointed to review the center-state relations and give recommendations to improve the relations, sir. Sir, it has emphasized specifically on the office of governor, sir. It had said that it gave certain recommendations that people who are not in active politics should be appointed, and the chief minister of the particular state has to be consulted by the central government before the appointment of the office of governor, sir. And sir, it also recommended that at a specific tenure be set and like the president, sir. So that, and he has to act in a way that is emphasized to set an example so as to ensure the proper relations between the center and state, and also act as a via media for the people to access to for providing access to the government, sir.
Now, removal of the Chief Justice of India from the recently passed legislation in which the Election Commission's appointment. So, how do you see this? Does it not compromise on the independence of the Election Commission, or how do you see this? What is your view on this?
Sir, Supreme Court had ruled in its Anup Baranwal judgment that this selection committee should constitute the Supreme Court Chief Justice, sir. But the Election Commission and CEC and the Election Commissions Act 2023, the government has said that it has replaced the CJI with the cabinet minister, sir. There are allegations that it compromises the independence of ECI, sir, but I still think it has a mixed bag of results, sir. The positive things being it has finally passed an act specifying the qualifications for the CEC, sir. It has always been the prerogative of the government to appoint the CEC, sir. So nothing much has changed there. But it would be a development.
But doesn't it compromise on the independence of the Election Commission?
Sir, there is a quote, sir. Justice must not only be done but also seen to be done. And sir, it definitely applies to the public office, sir. So to keep in mind the public opinion and the opinion of the global community which sees India as a leader, I think it would be better with the passage of time that government does replace the cabinet minister with the CJI, sir, in my opinion.
Good. What you have done at IIT Delhi, you got some scholarship. What is that scholarship about?
Sir, I was there for 1 year, sir, in my first year. There I had got this merit certification, sir, at the end of first year. They gave it to the top 7% students at the end of first year, sir, who have
1 year,
excelled.
what kind of course is that?
Sir.
What is that course you have done there, 1 year?
Sir, I was in the UG program, sir, Computer Science Department at IIT Delhi.
So you have dropped from that course?
Yes.
Why?
Sir, I had got into IIT because my parents wanted me to pursue engineering, sir, but I had an interest in humanities, sir. So we had an arrangement that if I would stay there for 1 year, because it was a good opportunity and it is an institute of national importance, and if I could get good grades, it would prove that I had put my effort there, and then I would be able to make an informed choice whether I would continue in IIT Delhi or would shift to humanities, sir. At the end of the first year, in the middle of the second year first semester, sir, I made a decision that I would pursue arts.
So what made you to take a distance education instead of regular education?
Sir, when I had left IIT Delhi, it was in the middle of the academic year, sir. So I had to make a choice whether I had to lose a whole year or I have to go for distance education. So I chose for distance education.
Who is Professor G. Ram Reddy?
Sir, Professor G. Ram Reddy was an eminent personality. He also served as a Vice Chancellor of the OU, sir, and he was the main mind, the mastermind behind the design of the distance education courses, sir, in India.
What is the difference between open learning and distance education? Any difference?
Sir, they are used interchangeably, but open learning is more about providing digital access, sir. But in distance education, there is a physical presence. It is in two formats, sir. One is a weekend classes, other is a year-end classes.
Okay, so this is your last attempt, I guess. You went last time also to the tele-interview?
Yes,
last
sir.
attempt, right?
Sir, it is my 4th attempt. I could still have 2 more attempts.
What do you think that you could not successfully interview? What lessons have you learned and how are you going to address those concerns? Can you just first list out what was according to you that you could not make it and how you worked out for the last more than I think almost 2 years now?
Sir, my score in the interview was fair enough, sir. I was awarded 182 marks. My marks had suffered in the mains, sir, especially in the essay and the optional paper. And in the GS paper too, in the GS papers also, where I had scored 5 marks less in each paper. So, sir, I put out a strategy wherein I was keeping more efforts on scoring papers like essay and GS2 in ethics and optional, sir. I had taken more tests, I read more on the material, and I had tried to memorize more. I used new techniques. I recorded my voice and I tried to listen to it in the recess areas so that I could make most of my time.
So what is can you name few, one of the institute which is popular in anthropology studies, which center or institute or university which is popular in anthropology because you are choosing an anthropology. So,
Sir, I think for archaeology, I would say Deccan College, Pune, sir. It is quite famous.
So what is the difference between anthropology and archaeology? Is there any difference or interchangeably can be used?
Sir, there is a convergence, sir. There is a fourfold division of anthropology, sir, by Franz Boas, and archaeological anthropology is one part of it, sir. Archaeology is also a separate discipline, sir, but there are certain inputs that anthropology uniquely provides. First thing I would say is of the holistic vision by combining biological and socio-cultural aspects. One particular thing that was added was this processual approach, thinking about initially archaeology mostly focused about the material that was dug out, and museum archaeology was the norm of the day. But processual archaeology brought in certain new elements, like asking the new questions about how these tools were made, why these tools were made, and why these specific tools were found there, and how did exist in the cultural milieu, sir. And sir, in now archaeological anthropology is at a stage where they are studying questions of symbolic and cultural significance of these tools, sir.
You know, you might have heard in Telangana Public Service Commission, a lot of, in the media was there. How do we, what is the process of removing the chairman and the members? Is the state government can remove them, or what procedure should be followed to remove them when it is required?
Sir, there is an inquiry committee that is set up, sir, and sir, removal is done by the governor, sir.
No, suspension can be done by the government, but even for the state government
Can't.
public service commissions, governor cannot remove, only the
Yes,
And on
yes,
the
I'm
basis
correct.
of an inquiry done by
Yes,
judiciary.
Supreme Court.
yes, Supreme Court judiciary.
So what, another question, like, do you see that, the presidents and governors are, it doesn't contribute much to the administration, and it is leading to delay in certain bills and the process. So like there is a conflicts and active politicians, all that. So by learning all these developments, do you think that, we should relook at and remove the positions of presidents and governors to have a better governance and better decision?
Sir, I would say there is still relevance for the post of governors and presidents, sir. First thing being, they are the pillar of the federalism and the federal structure, sir. They act as a via media for communication between the center and the state. And sir, secondly, they are persons of high repute, and they are supposed to act as a friend, philosopher, and guide for the state governments, sir. So, sir, there is one particular instance of Mr. President Abdul Kalam, wherein he had used his morality and integrity to stop this Office of Profit Bill from being passed. So, sir, I still think it is up to the people who are in the office to live up to the expectations of the Constitution, sir, rather than saying abolishing it would be a better option, sir.
Don't you think that the posts of president and governor are from colonial legacy, right? So the British wanted to control India, and so they had viceroy, and similarly the viceroy wanted to control the states, provincial states. So they had the institution of governor. So don't you see it as a colonial legacy?
Sir, I will not deny the continuity from the colonial element, sir, but the purpose has changed, sir. Initially, during the time of independence, it was thought that it would create an element of cohesion, wherein any anti-national elements would be coerced by the governor, sir, and certain special duties have been performed, have been conferred, sir, like protection of public order, law and order, and in specific the case of AP in Telangana, wherein a bifurcation had happened, the protection of life and property of the Andhra people. So, like these kind of elements, and there is an element of trust now and legitimacy that has been given to the officers, sir, because they have been sanctioned by the Constitution, and people have reposed their trust into the Constituent Assembly, sir. So I would say there is an element of authority and legitimacy that has been reposed into the office, sir. But sir, I would again say it is up to the people who have been in the office to live up to the expectations of the Constitution, sir.
India is a federating, is a unitary. It has more of unitary features, isn't it? Is it a federation, or it has more of, inclination is towards more of a unitary feature?
Sir, I would say it is a mix of both unitary and federal features, sir.
So then federating states in US, for instance, do they have something like this? There's only governor, the elected governor. Is there somebody who is a nominal head in US, in the federating units? Do you have some such institution there?
Sir, I'm not particularly aware of this US situation of governors, sir, but it is seen in this Commonwealth of States, sir, where British had ruled. In Canada also
is
there
seen
is
as
this
an
governor.
institution more where the center can control the state, isn't it?
Yes,
So
sir.
when it is, the constitution is more tilted towards, it's more of unitary characteristics. Don't you think that governor institution should be there in the state, or what is your take on that?
Sir, I would say the office of governor should continue, sir. But sir, there have to be certain guidelines and code of conduct, wherein timelines have to be laid, wherein certain bills should not be. They have to get out of this dialectic attitudes, wherein they're just sitting on the bills just to to stall the bills or to create some sort of friction for the state governments to function, sir. But sir, I think they should continue. The core of the Indian Constitution being it is an indestructible union of indestructible states. So new states can come up at any time, and there is a necessity for the office of governor to stay, sir.
What novel you read in the recent novel? You have a habit of reading classic novels, no?
Yes.
What is the latest novel that you read?
Sir, the latest novel I had read was this A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, sir.
What is the gist of it? Can you just...
Sir, it essentially is placed during the time of the French Revolution, sir. It talks of two countries and two cities, England and Paris. The main theme is about this class conflict, sir. The inequalities which have led to the tyranny of the noblemen, which has led to the French Revolution. And sir, there are certain particular themes wherein there is a doctor who has a dangerous past, which he recollects it through painful features. And sir, there is one protagonist, Charles, wherein his uncle was a tyrant who belongs to this ruling class, who had who had imposed certain difficulties on the people, and the people, as a mob, try to inflict damages on him. And sir,
Okay, this last question. In the TEDx talk you organized, who was the speaker and what was the talk on about?
sir, the prominent speaker was the Principal Secretary Jayesh Ranjan, sir, of Telangana State. He had talked about the digital transformation of Telangana, sir, since 2014. He had talked about this EPAS system, the Dharani portal, and the digital reach which Telangana government was using for providing e-governance and facilitating the industry, sir.
What is the meaning of eco-consciousness? Can you elaborate on it?
Sir, eco-consciousness is an idea wherein people take it upon to themselves that conservation of environment is the duty of everybody and the people, not just, it just doesn't involve the states, sir.
So, what is the recent program that is being promoted by Prime Minister of India for creating eco-consciousness?
Sir, the program LIFE, sir, Lifestyle for Environment.
Can you elaborate on it? What are the main prominent aspects of it?
Sir, Prime Minister has stressed that people should be conscious about the economic output, the environmental output that they have had, and people can contribute to green and clean life, sir, via consuming less water, seeing to it that power is not misused. They switch off the fans and lights when they leave the room, and go for public transport or cycles for transport, sir, so that the 𝐃𝐨𝐼𝐧𝐿 go down, sir.
Okay. So you mentioned as a sport as a badminton. So what are the characteristics that is required for badminton? Is it agility or the physique that is required? So which one you take?
Sir, could you?
What are the characteristics that are required for playing a badminton? Is it agility, more of agility or strength?
Sir, I would say both the elements are involved, sir. We need precision and agility and speed to retrieve the shuttle and to attack it and to precisely get a kill, sir. But also it requires stamina and strength, wherein we have to smash. Sometimes when the opponent is defending enough persistently, we need to use our strength. And sir, it also involves stamina, wherein the games nowadays are stretching up to one hour, especially in the larger tournaments like All England tournaments. So I would say both are important.
Why do you want to give civil service? Is it the same reason you gave the JEE advance?
Sir, my interest into civil services evoked when I made an assessment of what I want to do with my life, sir. So I had
Which
certain
year?
criteria. Sir,
Which year?
sir, I had decided to go into civil services in the first year of my IT JEE, sir. There itself I had decided.
You could have completed your graduation and still came to civil service. Nothing was stopping you there. So what was the reason? And your optional is also not matching with your subjects that you took in the graduation. If you already decided that you wanted to come, then why different option?
Sir, from my 6th standard itself, my parents wanted me to get into IT JEE. So my orientation in my studies also was focused towards sciences, sir. So I did not have I could not make out my time to explore the social sciences and humanities, sir. So I thought this was an opportunity for me to explore public administration, political science and history, sir. And when it came to me to decide my option, I also chose anthropology because it was a new discipline which had opened my frontiers and my ideas and horizons, sir. And also it was scoring well. So on these ideas, I had chosen anthropology.
What are the disadvantages of distance education?
Sir, distance education, in my experiences from the people and my peers, sir, I would say, the element of contact and social contact is less because the number of days we go to the college is only two. And the second thing I would identify is, sir, people cannot spend much of the time on education, and the focus of the government is also less, sir. The third thing I would say. And the fourth thing I would say is extracurricular activities and sports. These elements are missing in the students who pursue distance education, sir.
Did you really think about all these disadvantages when you were choosing that particular decision of your life?
Yes, sir. When I had come out, the reason I had not left at the end of the first year was that my parents were still goading me to continue the graduation, and then they can call it the end of my graduation, sir. But I had realized that at any point of time there is going to be something or the other that's going to push me. At the end of graduation, they would want me to take a job and try it for 5 years. So I had to make that call, and sir, I was confident that I would take up roles which are providing me leadership
What
opportunities.
is GST compensation says?
Yes, when GST was brought out in 2017, there was this idea that states were losing their financial sources and which were being mainstream. So, sir, if they had set a criteria threshold that if the 14% growth rate is not seen in the taxes, they would create a central cess pool from which finances would be devolved to the states.
What are the 3 criminal laws that repeal IPC, CRPC and Indian Revenue Act? What are the major features or outstanding features of the new criminal laws?
Yes, ma'am. IPC was replaced by the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, ma'am. And the first thing I could recollect is this sedition, ma'am, section 124A, which was changed into Rajdroh in section 152 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, wherein the matters that threaten the unity, territorial integrity and sovereignty of India are now covered into this act, ma'am. The second thing being organized crime is added as a crime. And the third thing I would say is this Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, which is replaced the CRPC, when audio-visual recordings have been included into it. And the second thing is this trials can be conducted without in the absence of this particular accused, because they have observed that these people are getting out of India, and this is essentially stalling the process. So this has been added, ma'am.
Bharatiya Saksha.
Yes, ma'am. Bharatiya Saksha Samhita, this
How many sections are there in new Bharatiya Saksha?
Ma'am, at 20 were added, not able to take the exact
Same.
number of sessions.
Indian Evidence Act, no much difference in sections. Almost the same, around 170.
Yes.
Your mock is over. Thank you.